What is up, everybody, man? It's your boys Cam and T, man, and we're back on another episode of the Cam and T podcast, man. Episode 2 of season 2. I am your co-host, Tony T. Tom West, man. And you know we got our boy with us, man. Cam, what's going on, brother? Happy Tuesday.
Yo, happy Tuesday. Let's get it, man. Happy
Yeah,
Tuesday.
man. Yeah,
Episode
man.
2 of season 2.
Yes, that's correct, man. That's correct, man. I think episode 32 too as well
Yeah.
overall. But we glad to be back, man. We glad to, you know what I'm saying, be back. And me and Cam was just talking about how we both kind of just like tired, bro. Like it's just like I think I'm gonna tell you too, I think that time change still kind of messing with me too. I don't know about you. I know it's been almost a month,
Yeah.
but I feel like that time change is still messing with me as well. Like I'm still kind of tired from that.
Yeah. That's just the heat for me.
It was hot today.
It's just
Yeah,
the
it got
heat.
hot.
I'm here hot right now. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta flip my fans, you know what I'm saying? Turn them around
Yeah,
so that the cool air start to so the heat rise and the cool air drop. Cause
yeah,
man,
yeah. It was hot today in Georgia. I think it got up to, if I'm not mistaken, I think it got up to 80 degrees today, and that's pretty
mm,
hot to be April 2nd to be getting all the way up there. And you kind of like go in and out of like offices and stuff, right?
yeah, so I'll be out there in the heat
So
sometimes.
yeah, so you actually had to deal with that heat. So yeah, prayers up to you, brother, because
And
I ain't gonna lie, that heat was pretty. It was pretty bad today, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah.
so it was pretty tough. We already got somebody checking in. Malik, what's good, man? But yeah, man, we back on another episode, man. We excited to be back, man. Episode 2 of season 2, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We want to talk about, the women's college basketball Final Four is finally set. Men's also as well. We got a lot to talk about, man. I want to talk about the whole Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark situation, which is crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit. Draft. We're like 23 days away from the draft at this point. We'll start talking about the draft a little bit. This is gonna be a fun episode. So just tune in, sit back, relax. We're gonna give y'all some good stuff today, man. So first and foremost, I gotta start off with, the biggest game, really, I felt like in all of basketball was played last night between Iowa with Caitlin Clark and LSU and Angel Reese. And this was the rematch of the championship last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
It drew, I think the ratings just came out like maybe 30 to 40 minutes ago. 13.2 million people watched last night on a Monday random night in the beginning of April. That's pretty impressive for women basketball, especially where it has came from. Where that number 10 years ago would have been what? 500,000?
Yeah, in 100,000.
600,000? Like, and now we're talking about 13 plus million people tuned in. But anyway, Iowa comes out on top. They get their revenge from last year. They win 94-87. That girl, Caitlin Clark, we got to have a conversation about her. 41 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. She was absolutely tremendous in this game. And Angel Reese wasn't bad either. She wasn't terrible, but just nobody could stop Caitlin Clark, man. Angel Reese, I'll read off her stat line as well. Angel Reese had 17 points. Again, shot 7 for 21 from the field. But that girl, Caitlin Clark, man, she's special. And they get their revenge from last year. So, Cam, let me ask you 2 questions. How do you feel about Caitlin Clark when it comes to, the greats in women basketball? And then also as well, how do you feel about like Iowa finally kind of getting over the hump, because LSU has kind of been that team in their way the last couple of years. And now they finally gotten over that hump. What do you think?
I think she's up there with the greats already. Actually not even already. She is up there with the greats.
Yeah.
She's been up there, you know what I'm saying? She's the all-time leading scorer in all of college basketball, right?
Yep.
Men and women.
Yep.
So it's like when you look at college athletics, college hoops, she got to be, if she wins this championship this year, you know what I'm saying, she got to be in the conversation for one of the college GOATs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to see her, her future career with the WNBA and everything like that. I think what she's doing for the women's game and for women's basketball and just women's sports in general is amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's a really good thing to see. So I'm excited to see, really where she goes from here. I will be watching. You know what I'm saying? I think, like you said, I'm about to read off these stats real quick. You were saying that they had 12.3 million viewers on ESPN. That topped Purdue and Tennessee, the men's Elite Eight on Sunday. Um, it was more viewers than the Golden Globes this year. Um, more viewers than the final round of the Masters last year, and it was more viewers than 4 out of the 5 of the 2023 NBA Finals between the Nuggets and the Heat, and it was more viewers than every single World Series game last year. So, I mean, it's just and they got almost 3 million more viewers, 2 million more viewers than they did last year, Iowa and LSU, right? So it was the most watched NCAA women's basketball game ever, is what they saying. So I mean, it's just I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Women's college basketball is the wave right now. It's the hottest thing on the market right now. It's a way better product than the men's game, in my humble opinion, right now, because the stars in the women's game, I mean, they just shine so bright, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and you talked about this earlier, not even on the pod, but just me and you talking. We said that the men's game ain't no stars out there, man.
I
Ain't
can't name
nobody.
7 players in college basketball that
No,
don't
you
play on
can't.
UCLA roster. I can't
You
name you
can't.
7.
That's what I'm saying. I can't either. You know what I'm saying? I know some of the players that Clemson and played against, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I know what's his name, Zach Edey.
yeah,
He probably like the only, barely even a star, to be honest with you. People, he's kind of a star just because he's 7'5" and
yeah, right.
Asian. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where his star power comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like people love things like that. But when you look at women's college basketball, I mean, they got so many stars. You know what I'm saying? LSU roster is full of them.
Yep,
Iowa got Caitlin Clark. UConn got Paige Beckers. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? Like they got their stars all across the board. South Carolina, one of their biggest stars is off the bench right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I think she deserves some flowers for, not only being, a great player, but like you were saying, just kind of changing the game and bringing more attention. She's going to bring a lot more attention to the W too, and I think that's
Absolutely.
that's one of the coolest things about it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, man. Caitlin Clark, again, man. I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, she's not better than Cheryl Swoops," and "Oh, she's not better than Maya Moore," and Diana Taurasi and all them. Right now, bro, I'm not even concerned about that. I'm excited about the impact that she has brought to the women's game. Forget all that who's greater stuff right now. I'm not even concerned about that. The impact that Caitlin Clark has brought, I'm just no disrespect to those legends that we just named, they not even sniffing the paint of what Caitlin Clark has brought to this game as far as like popularity, eyes, impact. Caitlin Clark, honestly, Angel Reese as well, Fly J. Johnson. These girls have brought a lot of eyes to this sport, and I definitely think it's dope. I think it's a dope thing to see. I think it's really like I think a lot of people are going to always remember Caitlin Clark for this, and also what she does in the WNBA, because I'm pretty sure the same thing is going to transition over to the WNBA as well. She's going to bring a lot of eyes over there as well because she's just a superstar. She's, like I said, I watched last night. I think she's probably the best woman shooter I've ever seen. Just to be flat out honest, like I don't think I've seen any woman shoot the ball as well as Caitlin Clark. I don't think I've seen any woman score as well as Caitlin Clark. To be like flat out honest. Now, would I say she's to get to the more like on the court stuff? Do I think she's better than Maya Moore overall? No, probably not. I think it's close. And same with Diana Taurasi. No, she's not. But right now, the impact that Caitlin Clark has brought in the game is absolutely tremendous, man. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this, in my personal opinion.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
So there was a player. So some years ago, there was
Mhm.
a player. She was dominant.
Yep.
Okay. Do you think is she a bigger star than Brittany Griner
I think she
at the
is.
collegiate level?
I think she is. I think she's a bigger star than Brittany Griner. I think she's a bigger star than Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
I do. I think she is. I think Caitlin Clark is literally the biggest star to ever come out of women's college basketball.
College basketball.
Like,
I
in
can see
my
that.
opinion, like
Yeah.
again, disagree, agree, whatever, hate her, love her. This just facts. She has brought so many eyes onto this sport. 8 years ago, if you would have told me 13 million people on a random Monday night in April are going to pull up and watch a women's college basketball game, I would have laughed in your face. I
Yeah.
would have laughed in your face. Truly, and I would have laughed in your face. But because Caitlin Clark has changed the dynamic, and not just Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Fly J. Jones, all these other people, and even Asia Wilson, she kind of got the trend kind of going because Mamiah Moore was in college. It wasn't a lot of people tuning in like that. I'm just keeping it real. It just wasn't. I think Asia Wilson kind of started it. And then Caitlin and Angel, they took off with it, you know. But you know, I think as far as popularity, talent, you know, and everything, I think Caitlin Clark is the biggest impact in women's college basketball of all time, in my personal opinion. And I don't really think it's really that close.
Yeah.
I think Candace Parker, you can make a real argument for her because I remember that was like my elementary, maybe middle school years, but she was huge. So maybe close, but I think Candace Parker is the only one impact-wise and popularity-wise that can even compete as far as Caitlin Clark on putting eyes on the TV screen, in my personal opinion.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, she's tremendous. I think she's averaging like 30 plus a game. I mean, it's and people would think, oh, she's a ball hog. No, dude, she averages like 9 or 10 assists a game. Like, she's just really good. She's just really good at basketball. So definitely wanted to talk about that and give Caitlin Clark her props. Angel Reese and Fly J. Jones, too, still great impact players. I'm pretty sure Angel Reese is probably going to go to the WNBA as well this year. I'm not sure if she's decided anything or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure she's probably going to go ahead and go to the league. I don't know, though, because that NIL bag she getting at LSU is probably going to be more than she's going to make her whole career in like the WNBA because they don't pay that much. Like, no,
I don't know if she can. I don't think she can come back. I think she's in year 5.
Oh, she's in year 5. Okay, so did she get the COVID year though? Because you know, with the COVID year, you technically get 6.
Yeah, hold on.
If she redshirted, I don't know.
Because I just seen what they were saying about her yesterday. They was talking about her what's it called? Let's see, on
Well, maybe she didn't redshirt. Maybe she didn't redshirt.
She said she'll make a decision when she's ready. So yeah, I guess she do got an extra year left.
Yeah, she got an extra year because of the COVID year. I can't wait till that's over too. That's another discussion we'll talk about probably closer to college football time. But I don't know if you've seen this. It's this guy at Miami that is, I guess, like a tight end. He just turned 26, and this is his 9th year of college football. Dude, get on freaking like a job board, brother. Indeed, like, come on, man. I think it's just crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane.
She on year 5. I mean year 4. My bad. She on year 4.
Okay, yeah. So she gets that extra year.
She get an extra. Yeah, she got an extra one there.
Yeah, because of COVID year. But yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I was gonna say her impact don't need to be understated either, because she has a hand in a lot of this too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just feel like, I mean, there's so many stars. Like you said, I can go back. I know you can remember some names, but I can just remember the UConn ladies. Brianna Stewart was big.
Yep.
Skylar Diggins I think she went to Notre Dame. She was huge. Yep. Like you said, Maya Moore was also UConn.
What's the girl that was at Oregon a couple years ago? Sabrina.
Yeah.
Her too.
She in the W now, killing it.
Yeah,
because she just had
deal too. But none of them girls as big as Caitlin Clark.
No.
Caitlin Clark selling out arenas, man.
Yeah,
them girls weren't selling out no arenas. No disrespect, but now I'm telling you who else I want to talk about too. That little girl Juju Watkins. She next.
She next. Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying.
They already got who next. Juju Watkins. That game last night against Paige, what's her name? Buckner. I might be saying it wrong.
Beckers.
Juju Watkins, man. When you watch her form as she shoots the ball, it's magical. I mean, it's beautiful. Like that girl is a true baller. Like Juju Watkins, I'm telling you now. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. It wouldn't surprise me at all if she surpasses Caitlin Clark on everything. It would not. I know that sounds crazy. It would not surprise me. Now, granted, she shoots, I feel like a lot more than Caitlin Clark does.
Yeah, she do. Her efficiency ain't that good. It's
Yeah,
crazy
her
that we
efficiency is
saying that,
not.
but
Yeah, her
yeah,
efficiency. But again, she's a freshman, so
yeah,
I'm willing to, kind of give her some time. But I'm telling you, man, she is a baller. Juju Watkins, I'm not sleep on her either. And they already got the next group of players coming up because she's going to be good, as well. So I think college women's basketball is heading in the right direction right now. And I love it for those women. That's awesome that, it came from women's basketball kind of being a joke. Like, let's just be real, like a couple years ago. And now everybody is kind of tuned in. So I love that for those women. They definitely deserve that because they're competitors just like men are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely happy for them to get that recognition. I want to say something real quick. Do you notice that we 16 minutes in and we still ain't brought up the men's side of the whole thing? That speaks volumes of what we're talking about. That speaks volumes of what we're saying when we say the men's college game is just, it's not it. It's not it, bro. Like it is what it's just not it. Like it's not what it used to be. In 06, 07, we'd have been kicking off this pod if it was a podcast back then. That would be the biggest deal, was the Final Four. Men's. We talked about the women's first because it's a bigger deal right now. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. Let's talk about the men's a little bit, though. The Final Four set. They're going to be in Arizona this weekend, getting it started.
Wait. Yeah, my bad. Before we move on, let's talk about the women's Final Four. Let's get.
Go ahead. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about them real quick too. They Final Four while we was already on the subject. So it's Iowa, South Carolina, UConn, and NC State.
Yeah.
I think I should have looked this up. I think Iowa has UConn next, right? I have that right?
Yeah, they do, because it's gonna be Paige against Caitlin Clark.
Against Caitlin. Man, that's gonna
yeah.
Boy, that's gonna be major, bro.
It's gonna be crazy.
And then so that means South Carolina versus NC State then.
Yep. South Carolina versus
NC State. Who you got winning the whole thing?
I got South Carolina winning the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie. I've had them winning the whole thing since November. South Carolina's probably winning the whole thing, in my personal opinion. I think they're just a good team. Like, just in general, it's not like a one-man show. No disrespect to like Caitlin Clark. I know we were just praising her, but like, it's not a one-man show. That whole team is good. They're a solid team. Don Staley, to me, is the best coach in women's basketball right now. So to me, as of right now, I'm going to have to say South Carolina. But I do think it'll be South Carolina and Iowa, though, in the championship. I will say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's who I would probably go with right now at this point.
Yeah, I'm probably the same way, to be honest with you. It's tough to think about another team beating somebody that's undefeated this far in the season. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. South Carolina is, like you said, Dawn Staley, what she got them girls doing. I mean, they putting on for the whole state, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. I'm happy for them, for the ladies. It's the seeing where that program has come from, like how it's kind of been on the rise so much these last, how long she been there? 15 years now? 14, 15 years, something like that. Yeah, actually, I think she's been there longer than that now. Man, it's just them being the dominant team in the country is crazy to see. Because I just remember, like I said, when UConn was that team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they won 4 straight chips at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like South Carolina, I think they got it. I think it'll be them versus Caitlin Clark in Iowa for sure. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And then I got South Carolina winning.
Okay.
But that's not to say though, to kind of transition though, I do want to give a big shout out to both the women's and the men's teams from UConn and NC State.
Yep.
For making the tournament, right? Which unfortunately for, the women's side of the things, I don't think they're going to beat the opponents that they have. But the men's side, UConn plays Alabama, and NC State has I'm blanking for a minute. Purdue. They got. So give me your thoughts on the men's Final Four.
Before we get going, there is some breaking news right now that's kind of big since we're talking about college basketball. It's college basketball related. Again, I don't know if this is confirmed yet, but this is going to sound weird. His name is Dick Weist. He's a national sports writer, Hall of Fame. That's what it says. He works for the New York Daily News. He has announced that USC freshman guard Bronny James is entering the transfer portal. Again, I don't know if that's completely confirmed at this moment, but that has came out in the last 5 minutes. Now, again, I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is even fully confirmed, but that is the report coming out of LA right now that Bronny is going to be leaving USC. Their coach left, earlier. I think he got canned or either left, whatever the case may be. But that is what's going around right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but again, I did want to bring it up. Now, I don't know. That might be kind of weird that LeBron James just posted that Duquesne got a new coach, a couple days ago. I thought that was kind of weird how he just announced that out of nowhere. So I don't know if
I think that dude from Akron.
Yeah, they're buddies, they're friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's just kind of what's coming out right now. But sorry, I just wanted to kind of break that real quick because that is going around social media pretty heavy right now. Reported in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, possibly Bronny James hitting the portal. But as far as who do I have winning in the men's side of things, personally, I love the NC State story. I think it's been tremendous. I fell in love, no Diddy, with DJ Barnes. I love the big guy. He seems amazing. But I think the run's over. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna tell you why. Zach Edey is the reason why I think NC State is not gonna be able to win this game. Zach Edey is gonna draw fouls like crazy because he's 7'5". How can you really guard a guy that's 7'5" without fouling? Like, it's kind of impossible to do. And the refs are already really kind of like how they do Joel Embiid kind of in the league. They're like, as soon as you touch him, they call on the whistle.
You on the line.
So if DJ Burns gets himself in trouble early, it's Jover. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. I think Purdue wins that game. And then on the other side, I don't think UConn. I don't think nobody's beating them, bro. I'm going to be straight up with you. I think UConn is better, 15 points better than every single team left. Straight up. I'm going to be honest. UConn's basketball team is 15 points better than every single team left. NC State, Purdue, Alabama, they're 15 points better than this team. They literally went on a 30-0 run the other day ago and did it without a blink of an eye. This team is special, man. They're about to two-peat. They're about to go back-to-back. And I got them winning the whole thing, to be honest. So that's my prediction.
Man, it's hard to be the best team in the league all year long.
Yeah.
Our best team in the country all year long.
Yep. And
win. We've seen so many times where the best team gets down there and folds or just loses, you know what I'm saying? Don't make it. I always think about Kentucky about a decade ago. They were undefeated all the way up until the Final Four.
Yep.
We've seen so many 1 seeds get bounced first or second round. We've seen a lot happen, but these UConn Huskies, man, boy, they different. How you go on a 30-0 run, and again, this ain't like they was playing East Mountain West State College.
No, it's Illinois, a 3 seed.
Illinois, a 3 seed, a top seeded team in the tourney.
We're talking about a top 15 or so team, probably top 12.
I mean, they just beat Iowa State, and Iowa State had a very good year this year. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like Illinois wasn't no joke.
Right.
And somebody go in there and put a 30-0 run on your head. How you you supposed to look at UConn to think that they beatable right now if they do that? And it's not, bro. This ain't that wasn't the first round, the round of 64, the round of 32. That was the Elite Eight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The Elite Eight.
Yep.
Look, man. I got UConn winning Um, I, I mean, don't get me wrong. Alabama, now they a good team. They can score.
They can shoot.
That's
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
can score. That's the thing about Alabama that I'm, that I would be afraid of if I was UConn. You got to D up, and
Yeah.
you got to be smart. Unlike my Tigers were in that game, you got to be smart. Okay. I will say this real quick though.
Yeah.
My Tigers should be in the Final Four. It should be us. We ain't had no business losing that game to Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. We just gave up too many looks, way too many threes, corner threes at that. Alabama just went unbelievable from
Yeah.
three.
Sears was lighting them up. He was lighting them up.
Sears and my other man with the headband, I can't even think it's
Yeah.
Henderson or Ferguson, something.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was lighting them up, and he was like 29% from three over on the season. But Clemson decided to leave him open, and then after they had put a barrage of threes on us, they started going down low because we was crashing the 3-point. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I mean, after the crashing the perimeter, after that it was over, man. But and we should have hit our free throws. But regardless, with that being said, it's clear that Alabama can light it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So UConn just has to be a little bit wary about that. But if they can stop them, which I know is easier than what it sounds, but if they can stop them, or not easier, it's harder than what it sounds. But
Yeah.
then UConn, they should easily win that game.
Yeah.
And as far as on the other side, like you said, NC State and Purdue, that boy too big down in the middle.
Yeah.
He too. Actually, I take that back. He too tall. DJ Burns too big.
Big. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm excited to see what they do.
Though, man. I hope. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If the refs let those two guys duke it out, let them both be physical, I'm not gonna lie. NC State might have a real shot. If they say we ain't gonna treat not Josh, if we ain't gonna treat Edie like Joel Embiid, then I'm not gonna lie. NC State got a chance to do something real special.
Yeah.
If they don't let Edie just get down there, and as soon as you get near them, it's a foul. If they let them boys play, NC State got a chance, man. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm UConn, I'm more scared of NC State right now. I'm not gonna lie, because they are just so like it's almost like magic. Like, you can't stop this. Like, think about the way NC State's run started. They were 17-14 in the ACC championship on day one. Everybody was cracking jokes. Oh, they got to play at 9 a.m. on the first day because they sorry. They knocked down they barely beat Louisville, who sucks. They knocked down a buzzer beater and probably should have lost that game to Virginia. They turn around the next day, beat, was it Duke or North Carolina? It don't matter. They beat Duke and then they beat everybody. So when you think about it like that, this team just seems like kind of like a team of destiny, almost like. So if I'm UConn or if they get there, Alabama, I'm more scared to play NC State right now because they don't have nothing to lose. They've already accomplished. This is the best team NC State has had in 40 years already. They could get blowed out on Saturday, and it ain't gonna mean nothing because they made it this far. When you're playing a team like that seems to be like this is their destiny to run this thing back exactly 40 years from when they won it the last time. I'm just telling you, man, if I was the UConn, I think I would be very scared of NC State. I'm not gonna lie. I would be very scared or Alabama, I would be scared of NC State. Because if they make it, I'm not sure you're beating them because they just seem like a team of destiny. And that's what would scare me. I think NC State, I'm almost tempted to say if NC State gets past, Purdue. If they get past Edie and them boys, they might win it, bro. I think, especially if UConn don't make it, if it's Alabama and NC State, I'm going with NC State, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah.
That would be crazy. The funny thing is, I had Alabama pick to win it last year, bro. That's the
Yeah,
funny
I
thing
did too with Brandon
because I
Miller.
think
I did too.
were they were a 1 seed last
They
year,
were a
right?
1 seed last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had Bama. I had Bama and Houston
Yeah,
as the
that
two
was the
teams I
same
thought
final
was
I
gonna
had
win.
last year was Bama. And no, I tell you what I had. I had Bama and Duke in the championship, I think, last year. It might have
Yeah,
been Bama and Duke. Or it might have been
yeah,
Bama and Houston. I can't remember. But I definitely had Bama in the championship.
yeah. I thought they was gonna win that thing last year. So it's crazy that they ended up coming back. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but with that being said, though, like what you said though, I mean, if NC State make it to the championship game at this point, everybody might as well bet they chips on them boys.
I would.
Like
I would.
because I mean, they done been through everybody. Like you said, 5 wins in 5 days in the ACC championship, the ACC tournament. They're an 11th seed. They come through and they beat everybody that they played. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they took taking care of business multiple times. They beat Duke twice, beat them
Yeah.
once in the championship tournament in the conference tournament, and just the other day ago.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's first and foremost, it was a good year for the sports in the Carolinas. Deontay said, "Yeah, NC State is fearless right now, playing with house money. All the terms we can think of, they just find a ways to win. They
Yep.
stick to what they're good at. Exactly. They feeding that big boy down in the middle, which is another
Mhm.
thing I want to talk about here in a second. But what I was saying was like, I feel like all the Carolinas had a great season this year in basketball. I mean, it's just the would you say those are like the biggest four? You would say those are actually the big five, really, you could say, because South Carolina men's made the tournament and the women's obviously undefeated right now. Clemson men, we made the
Had a good
Elite Eight,
run.
which is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, had a good
shoot.
run.
I ain't think we was gonna do that, but hey, I'm locked in now. And then Duke, North Carolina, and NC State, man, like it's really incredible to see that North Carolina and South Carolina, just their success that they've had in basketball recently.
Yeah.
Also, I think that should bring more attention to. I know North Carolina has a lot of attention for basketball, but it should bring attention to South Carolina with
Yeah.
basketball too,
Mm-hmm.
because we've had some hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Ray Allen went to high school in South Carolina. KG went to high school in South Carolina.
I was about to say,
You know what I'm saying?
Zion Wilmington, Ja Morant.
Zion went to, all these guys, man. Like there's talent here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just got to come and find these people, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, football too. I know we ain't really talking about football tonight, but
Yeah.
Rock Hill is I mean, there's so many football players in the NFL
At
right now.
one point in the NFL, it might have been about 7 or 8 years ago, Rock Hill had singly out of any city in America had the most NFL active players. Mm-hmm. They had the most, and this is a small little city about 30 minutes outside of Charlotte. They had the most NFL. This might have been about 6 or 7 years ago. They had the most NFL players in the league. Not Houston, not LA, not all these big cities. Rock Hill, South Carolina. So there's definitely talent in South Carolina for sure.
That's what I'm trying to tell people, man.
Yeah,
like
definitely talent.
I want to say, my man, your boy DJ Burns, he from Rock Hill.
Yep, he is
from NC State. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of talent in South Carolina, all parts of South Carolina, the upstate, the low country. You know what I'm saying? PD, wherever wherever, man. You just got to find them, man. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to South Carolina, and then obviously North Carolina for doing what they've been doing for the last
50 years. Yeah. So I agree though, man. I definitely think as far as I know we brought this up already, but shout out to NC State basketball and shout out to that whole athletics department, period, this year. I mean, that football team was pretty good. Their men's and women both in the Final Four. So shout out to NC State. They're having a tremendous year athletically at this point. South Carolina as well. Their men had a really good year. Their women are always good in basketball.
Yeah,
really good year for them as well, as far as like basketball and stuff. Clemson making a run. So and even like we left off Wake Forest. I honestly think they probably should have been in over Virginia personally, in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
They should have probably been in right right with them pretty much. So, shout out to, a lot of the teams in the Carolinas as far as basketball is doing pretty well. But yeah, I'm just excited to see these games this weekend. It's going to be pretty interesting. And I'm just excited to see how this thing turns out, man. I'm really excited. And we'll just see how it goes. And we'll definitely come back next week and talk about it. Now, I do want to kind of transition a little bit over to a little bit of football tonight. We're not going to go too long tonight. We're not going to go too much on the draft and stuff, but the draft is coming up. 23 days away now from the NFL draft. And me and Cam was actually talking about it earlier. It's kind of different this year because I feel like the first 5 or so picks are pretty predictable. Like we know at 1, Caleb Williams is going. They probably already handed him the playbook in Chicago.
Yeah.
We know at 2 and 3, either Jaden Daniels or Drake May are going. We know at 4, it's probably going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. We know at 5, it's probably going to be Malik Neighbors. So we already kind of know the top 5 picks. I guess really 6 is kind of where the draft starts with the Giants. At this point, pending if any trades happen or anything like that. But the draft really doesn't start till 6, in my personal opinion, this year. So, again, and then our team, the Panthers, we don't have a first round pick. So we really kind of haven't been too much into the draft too hard. But these next, after the final 4 start, we're going to start digging in, bringing in guests. And, we'll talking more of the draft probably 2 weeks leading up to the draft, probably the week before the draft and then the week of the draft. We're going to really hone in on it. But just talk about the draft a little bit tonight. Let's talk about this wide receiving, let's talk about some of the wide receiver ranks. So we put out a graphic last week talking about wide receivers. And, I don't want to talk about the top 5 wide receivers. I want you to give me a guy right now that's in this NFL draft that might be a little bit slept on as a wide receiver.
Oh, man.
Because I have 2 off the top dome that I feel like nobody's really talking about at this point.
I got one. Well, I'm gonna amend it a little bit. I'm gonna amend your question a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not slept on, but I just want people to understand that I for sure think that Rome Odunze is going to be a superstar in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I want people to understand he's wide receiver 3 in this draft. You know what I'm saying? But out of all the wide receivers in this draft, I'm 100% sure about him. You know what I'm saying? Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously, he's a generational prospect is what a lot of people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But he may not live up to that. Not saying he can't be a great wide receiver. Right. Just, his prospect is for him to be one of the greatest ever. Yeah. He might not get that. You know what I'm saying? Malik Neighbors, he can, he might just miss. I don't know. Yeah. Rome Odunze, y'all, I promise you, he ain't gonna miss. He's going to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL one day. If it's not in year 1, it'll probably be by year 2 for sure. So he would probably be the guy. And then another guy, just another name, I'm pretty sure about like Troy Franklin as well. I know he didn't really do good at the combine or anything, but is when you turn on the tape and when you actually watch him play the game, he low key 1-on-1 out there when he on the field. So that would be I guess the answer to that question, probably Troy Franklin. He not getting a lot of love right now.
Yeah, so I got 2, and I agree with Troy Franklin. I know he hasn't tested well, and he's kind of small, but I still like Troy Franklin, especially because I've heard people talk about him. He might not go to the 3rd round, and I'm like, if he falls to the 3rd round, somebody's gonna get a really good wide receiver. In my personal opinion, but for me, I think the guy that's kind of getting slept on right now is Malachi Corley. Out of Western Kentucky. He is a really good player. Okay. Again, I think he slept on because he went to a small school, but this guy is really good, man. I think he's a really good player. I think that, he's just a talented guy that's just played at a smaller school, probably could have went in the transfer portal last year and went to a bigger school because I'm pretty sure he would have had several places to go. He is a really talented player, and it would not surprise me at all if he gets took in the top 62 picks. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he gets picked in the 2nd round at all. I think this guy's really good. And then another guy, somebody just said in the comments, Jalen McMillan from Washington is another guy I don't hear a lot of people talking about as well. As far as like later prospects, I think Jalen McMillan is a little bit shadowed and underrated because Rome is so good. And then you got Jalen Polk too. Jalen Polk is really good. I think he's in this draft class as well. All the Washington wide receivers really are underrated in my personal opinion, including Rome.
Yeah.
Like I think people just think, Marvin Harris is all the way up here.
Yeah.
Neighbors is all the way up here, and then it's Rome Odunze. No, I don't look at. I honestly think all three of them are like up here.
Yeah,
like,
I do too. That's where I'm at.
I almost look at Rome Odunze as the second coming of Jamar Chase. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he's really that good to me, in my personal opinion. So that's kind of how I feel. Another position I wanted to ask you about. What do you feel like? How do you feel about the edge rushers in this class? Because I have a few guys I'm kind of like hit or miss on, but there are a few guys I do think they're going to be like solid players. Who do you have that you think might be a little like underrated coming into this draft process as an edge rusher?
Shoot, man. I think a lot of people. I know a lot of Carolina Panthers fans. You posted a graphic about it. Chop Robinson out of Penn State is somebody that a lot of people want, and a lot of people say is super underrated. Shoot, him. Well, what's my man name from? Is he from UCLA, bro? You know who I'm talking about.
Latu.
Yeah. That dude is incredible. He looks like a super talented prospect. My man from Florida State.
Jeff.
He's not really an edge rusher. No, not him. He's a top talent, but he's not really an edge rusher, but he quick, and I think he can move inside and out. Fisk.
Fisk, yeah. The white
I
boy.
think I think he can move inside and out. Yeah, he's the player that I was looking at earlier. I was thinking like he's gonna get drafted as a defensive tackle, but on some teams, he gonna be on that outside, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who draft him. He gonna be
because he kind of undersized a little bit to be like inside, in my personal
opinion. His weight ain't really he to me he kind of looked like an edge rusher, you know what I'm saying? He's round and stocky like an interior lineman, but like you said, he don't have the bulk, the size like a Derrick Brown.
He probably would fit best in like a 3-4 situation.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So he can play, even though he'd be a DT, he on the line.
He'd be on the end, technically.
Yeah, he'd be on the end. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's kind of that player that I know it's kind of cheating a little bit, but he would be that guy because his combine
was crazy.
It was crazy.
He made a lot of money strictly off of that Louisville game and the combine.
Yeah.
Them two games right there put him on a different level, in my personal opinion. Because before that Louisville game, he's probably a 5th round pick. Exactly. Then that Louisville game happened, he went crazy. That put him at like maybe 4th round. And that combine shot him up off the roof.
Yeah.
Another person I would not be surprised if he goes late 2nd. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I've seen him early as like 45, 46. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes early. Somebody actually has already said mine, the guy from Missouri, Darius Robinson. Yeah. That's the guy I'm looking at, and I'm like, okay. And I brought him up last week. I don't know why I thought he went to Michigan. I knew it was one of them M schools, but Missouri. He's a guy that I kind of like a lot as well in this draft. And I think that's a guy that's getting a little bit underrated because everybody's talking about Chop Robinson, Jared Verse, Latu. I tell you another one, the other DN at UCLA, Gabriel Murphy, really good player that you could probably get in the 3rd or 4th round. I think he's a really talented edge rusher as well. I don't think people realize UCLA had a really good defensive line this past year, like really good. Like all 4 of their guys was really legit. But Gabriel Murphy is another good one I would keep my eyes on as well. So let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at this draft, what do you feel like is maybe some, or if not, is the weakest position in this draft? What do you think? Because we know it ain't wide receiver. We know it ain't that. Wide receivers, this is probably the strongest wide receiver draft I've seen in a minute. It's been a lot, not a minute, but like since like Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, like since that year.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
agree.
this is a
Uh,
deep. What position you feel like is not that deep this year in draft?
honestly, I know a lot of people. I I'm probably gonna go with mm, I might go with honestly defensive tackle maybe.
Okay.
Give me. I'm trying to think who in this class. Actually, you could really make an argument the whole defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, I think I think the cornerback class is pretty solid.
It's pretty solid.
That's solid. Safeties. I mean they ain't never really. They usually have one blue chip prospect, but
Yeah.
everybody else kind of
Mhm.
So I probably would say I think defensive tackle. Um, I well, what do you think? What do you
I'm
think?
not gonna lie. I think this running back class absolutely
I and
sucks.
see that's why I held off on saying it because I figured you might say it,
Yeah, I'm not
but
gonna lie. I think this running back class sucks. Like I don't think now next year is loaded. If you need a running back, next year is the year to get it. But this running back class to me is garbage. I'm not gonna lie. I might be the only one that feels like that. I think this running back class sucks. I think Audric Estime is a good college running back. He's more so like a big body back, and
he a thumper.
in the NFL, you really don't use those anymore like that.
Yeah,
Braylon Allen, kind of similar, bigger, but he's a little bit more athletically gifted. So I'll give him that. But again, wasn't really impressed with his combine and all that. I really wasn't that impressed. Again, I think this year's running back class is weak as crap to me. Will Shipley, again, no disrespect, love him as a person. He seems like a nice guy. Probably going to be a 4th or 5th round pick, in my honest opinion.
yeah.
I just don't see a lot of good running backs in this class personally. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think the running back class this year sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you.
See, I was gonna say So here's what I was gonna say about the running back class.
Yeah.
There's no
No.
elite guys in the draft for running back, but I feel like there's so many good prospects. I think like I like Braylon Allen. I think he's probably the best prospect. I think Marshawn Lloyd is up there. Estimated he'll be probably a 4th or 5th round pick. Ray
Yeah.
Davis, I think he's a really good player, but he's a
Is
lot
that the
older.
dude from
You know what I'm saying?
Kentucky?
Yeah, he's a
I
lot
do
older
like
though.
him, but he
Yeah,
again though he's more like kind of like a
he a thumper.
stocky power
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I agree. Like a lot of these guys, I mean, Lloyd is a pretty good catcher out the backfield. Like I said, Braylon Allen, he kind of can do it all. Like that's why I probably got him as the best back in the class. Those two guys. My man from isn't it dude from Georgia? Or am I tripping? And then I see him.
I'm not sure if there's a Georgia guy coming out this year. Now I will
Lloyd.
tell. Is Milton coming out this year? I don't know. I'm not
Who?
sure. Kendall Milton. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's
I
coming
thought
out
that's
this
who
year.
I seen.
It might
I
be.
seen
It
him
might
in
be.
the.
I'm not sure. He might be coming out.
I
This
might
year.
be tripping.
But
I might
again,
be
he
tripping.
ain't gonna be no. He wasn't even a game changer at Georgia.
Yeah,
He was like a
yeah,
tandem running back. So
yeah.
again, that's kind of what I'm
That's
getting at. I think a lot of these guys are just like depth pieces. Like I don't
yeah.
really think nobody. Like I like Bucky Irvin. He kind of
Okay,
fits a
yeah,
little bit more
yeah,
of the modern running back now and
yeah.
how it's used. So I do like Bucky Irvin. Um,
I like the dude from
besides,
Louisville. Guerrero, I think his name is.
yeah, he's getting a lot of hype as of late.
Yeah,
But I just don't see it with this class, bro. Again, I might be a hard ass. I just don't see it with this class, bro. I
yeah.
really don't. I don't think no running back in this class will be an impact player immediately. Like I don't think
Okay.
none of them will. Like I don't think we'll see an Ezekiel Elliott breakout year for any of these guys.
No, man. No,
Or
we
like
ain't getting
anything
that.
like that. I think these are going to be good depth pieces, running back 2s, running back 3s, maybe can eventually become a running back 1. I do agree. I think probably Braylon Allen, because of his size and athletic ability, he might
He's
be
young.
the one that can, and he's young. He's like 20.
He's 20. Yeah.
Yeah, so he might be the one that I could kind of see, you know what I'm saying, like actually having some success a little bit. But I'm telling you, I think this running back class is Sorry, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
But next year, Trayvon Henderson, Quinshon Junkins, Trevor Etienne. I mean, that class is going to be special.
Stacked.
Yeah, that running back class. If you need a running back, next year is the year for you.
Yeah. I feel like this year too. I mean, I feel like you're gonna see a lot of backs 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those 4 rounds.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot of running backs take it because I'll be frank with you. I know it ain't one going in the first round.
No. I don't think there's one going in the second.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it was one going in the second. It might be a late second round pick.
Yeah.
Before you see the first running back taken off the board, mid to late second round pick.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be Allen.
What about Trey Benson from Florida State?
Oh yeah, he in this draft too. See, that's what I'm saying. See, he's solid too. Yeah, and I like your man too that you said. Irvin, he's solid too.
But yeah, I think the 3 I like the most probably in this order is Bucky Irvin, Trey Benson, Braylon Allen. Them probably the 3 I like the most, and then Ray Davis at 4. Okay, but again, I don't think any of those guys will be, even Trey Benson. I don't think any of those guys will start right away and be impact players. I don't think they will.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think all of these guys are going to be guys that are going to be running back 2s coming in, just getting a few talk runs here and there. And like I said, I think Braylon Allen probably has the highest upside because, like you said, his age.
Yeah, he's super young. Also, we forgot. I mean, he real small, but Blake Corum in the draft too. He probably going 4th, 5th round.
Again, just too small. Like I don't want to be mean to him and nothing like that. I just don't see it as far as a career and starting out being a beast. I don't see it. I just.
But also too, kind of what you were saying earlier though. These guys, they'll be RB2s. I think that's a great spot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a great start.
Cordell Patterson has made a living off of being an RB2.
Yeah.
Still making a living. Got another contract the other day ago. So they'll be all right.
Who he end up with?
He with the Steelers now. Because Arthur Smith up there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're right. I just feel like that's a good spot to be in. Like, I think some teams, so the Chargers probably gonna be needing a running back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they let Eckler go. I don't know if they
really they have.
Yeah, I don't think they picked nobody. The Cowboys, they
definitely
need somebody. Yeah, so like it's gonna be a team out there that's gonna draft a running back, mid to late second round. The Cowboys, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys or the Chargers, them 2 teams was the first 2 teams to take a running back.
Absolutely, I can see that.
I think it's gonna be one of them 2, and I think they're gonna take low key. See, the thing about the Chargers though, and Jim Harbaugh, he probably gonna want his mans though.
He gonna want Blake. Yeah, he's
gonna want Blake. So he might get Blake later, and then
Blake for sure.
I think Jerry Jones, he probably gonna be looking at Allen. Yeah. He probably gonna be looking at
Benson.
Yeah, Benson. I mean, they gonna want to do it all back. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can catch it out the backfield too. They gonna want somebody to help. Help with the loss of Tony Pollard as well as Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that so I'm kind of with you on that. That it's a weaker class than what we've seen in years past.
Like last year, running back class was steep. They had some good guys, Jameer Gibbs, and of course you always have kind of like a running back that'll emerge out of nowhere too. When the season starts, so we might come back in 7 months and be like, "Oh, Tony, you was wrong. This running back class fire." You know what I'm saying? So you never know. So I want to go ahead and say that now for people be coming at me like, "Oh, you said they were terrible." Like things can change, guys. But coming out as far as what I've seen them do in college, because college football, that's my forte. So I've seen pretty much all of those guys play. So I especially Trey Benson and like Bucky Irvin. I watched a lot of Oregon the last couple of years for some reason.
Right.
But I've seen them play, so I know kind of what to expect from those guys. I mean, again, I just don't see it.
Yeah. So give me your take on the defensive tackle draft class, because that was my answer. So because I'm trying to think, because I guess Chris Jenkins, is he the premier DT in this draft?
Is he going to play in or defensive tackle though? See, because I think with him, it's going to depend on the scheme. Because if
I,
he's in a 3-4 situation, he's probably going to play in.
He gonna be on the end like Fisk.
Yeah, like Fisk, kind of like same situation as Fisk. So for me, I do agree. I think defensive tackle, it's not weak though, because you have really good depth guys in there. You got guys like Mason Smith from LSU, the two guys at Clemson, Rook, and also as well Tyler Davis.
Tyler Davis.
So solid two guys there. My
man Murphy, right? Byron Murphy. Am I tripping?
Byron Murphy. Yep, Murphy. Yeah, and he's getting a lot of hype right now too. Actually, I would say defensive tackle. I wouldn't put them on my list, to be honest. I think running back and safety would probably be my two top least
but see, safety
areas.
Safety, I mean, safety just kind of the positional value is just so low
anymore.
Yeah, it's just so low though.
It's such a low. I mean, most times you don't see safeties get took in until at earliest second round. Like we had Cal Hamilton a couple years ago. That was an anomaly. Also, as well, Derwin James a couple years ago. That was an anomaly.
Yep.
But
what was he? He was picked 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, Derwin James was early. Yeah, he was early. And Cal Hamilton with your Ravens was pretty early too.
I think he was 14.
It was like 16, 15, somewhere in that ballpark. So he was pretty early too. But safeties they don't go that early. But defensive tackle, I think there's actually some good depth guys there. Like that can I like Murphy. A lot of people saying he could be a day one starter. The dude from Illinois, I can't think of his name. Newton is his last name. He's pretty good.
Jashawn Newton, I think.
Yeah, Jashawn Newton. That's his name.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why I said to me personally, I would put the defensive tackles way higher than the running backs. Like I think Newton, I think Murphy, I think those guys could probably start day one. I don't think not one of the running backs that I named are starting day one. I don't think Braylon Allen is. I don't think Bucky Irvin is. I don't think Will Shipley is. I don't think Ray Davis. I don't think none of those guys are going to be day one impact starters. I don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I say to me, defensive tackle, I actually think they're like middle of the road. Like I would give them like a C+ grade.
Okay.
Overall.
So we would go. So wide receiver, obviously A++.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They way up there. I would say maybe O-line maybe next, maybe, or corner.
To see the thing, corner's pretty good too, though, because you got Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Vernon Arnold,
Kool-Aid.
The dude from Missouri, I can't even think of his name, Rosswa or something like that.
Rakestraw, Toledo,
Toledo guy, Quentin Mitchell. They're loaded, man. The cornerback room is pretty high too. I probably put them like A or B+ as well.
Yeah. They would probably be ranked 2, and then I would go quarterback is pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good class, I would say.
Yeah, because so let me ask you this, and then we're gonna kind of wrap it up here. How do you feel about Spencer Rattler as far as a quarterback going into the league?
Yeah, I think that's why I say I think it's a good class, because he would be realistically. Yeah, I'm about to say realistically, he probably is a he's a solid prospect.
He's a solid prospect.
I mean, but realistically, in terms of quarterbacks that get drafted, he probably gonna be one of the last, if not the last. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he'll be the last. I think I could see him being quarterback 6. I think these are the guys I think I will go above Spencer. Obviously, Caleb, obviously Drake, obviously
Jaden,
obviously JJ McCarthy, obviously
Penix,
and then technically he'd be 7. And Bo Nix. I think he would probably go next. He'd probably be 7.
But you got to think too, though. You think there's going to be more than 8, 9 quarterbacks drafted?
I would say about 10. I'd say about 10 or 11.
So who? I don't even
because
know
you got to think about it now. Them bench warmer dudes too gonna get. Let's be real, not bench warmers, but like them dudes that get drafted in the 6th round, that still counts.
But I figured that's where I figured Spencer Rattler was gonna go though.
I think Spencer Rattler goes like 5th or 6th round. Well, I'll say 5th. I'll say 5th.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, somebody probably gonna get picked up in the 7th. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably gonna be 6th, few in the 7th.
It's probably gonna be Devin Leary.
I really do.
Yeah, I think that's why I said quarterback will probably be next after wide receiver and corner.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of these guys I mean, they can at least be backups. You know what I'm saying? The majority of them can at least be
If
backups.
Desmond Ridder had a shot at being a starting quarterback in the NFL, I think Spencer Rattler got a chance as well.
I can agree.
To be honest, to be flat out, I think Spencer Rattler is a better player than Desmond Ridder, in my personal.
He would be, if he came out in that class, he would probably be QB1 or 2.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of at the point now where if Spencer Rattler, if Desmond Ridder can start in this league, Spencer Rattler should be able to get a shot.
Yeah, he at least should get
he got a chance, But okay, yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at with it now. Like I said, we didn't want to go too far into the night tonight. We're gonna keep the episode right at about an hour tonight, man. We appreciate y'all love and support, man. Another really good episode, man. Next week we're gonna be talking about more of the college basketball games, wrapping up the finals. We'll probably go into a little bit of a deeper dive into the draft, and just kind of getting ready for everything that's going to take place in the next 3 weeks or so. Again, if you're on YouTube watching us, subscribe to the channel. If you're on, listen to us on Apple, iTunes, whatever, Spotify, man, we're there. Please subscribe there. Show us some love, man. We appreciate the love and support, man. And yeah, man, Cam, what did you have anything else tonight, man?
Nah, that was pretty much it. It was a good episode. I like today's, it was more conversational, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that was cool. I like that kind of aspect of it. So we might try to keep that going for y'all. But other than that though, man, we appreciate all the love.
Definitely. We might even jump into some I just thought about it because the NBA playoffs is going to be coming up.
Yeah.
Soon. So we might jump into some NBA talk a little bit next week as well.
Okay.
We actually might do more of that than even NFL draft talk because the next 2 weeks after next week, we're going to be in NFL draft talk heavy for like 2 straight weeks. So we might just really kind of stick to basketball next week as far as just kind of locking in on, college basketball games that'll be taking place and also as well the NBA because we're going to be kicking off the playoffs. I think, like you said, I think it's on like 8 or so games left in the season for most teams. So it's going to be playoff time. So we'll definitely start getting into that. Somebody already asked a basketball question. We'll answer it real quick. Malik said, what do y'all think of the Warriors and Rockets battling for the 10th spot? What I tell you in the beginning of the season.
You did. Oh, yeah.
Rockets.
Hold on.
Watch out for them boys.
Yeah. I do want to give you your I meant to do that. I forgot about that. Good bringing that up, Malik. I did want to talk to you about that. This ain't even about the pod. I just wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I told you. The Rockets have won like 12 out of 13 games.
Yep.
They just lost their first game in like 2 weeks the other day ago. Bro. I told y'all the Rockets, I said it back in the podcast, you can pull it. Back on the podcast when Thomas came. I don't know what episode it was, but I told y'all it would not surprise me at all if the Rockets slide in the playoffs. You remember, Cam? I called it, bro.
I'm pulling it up right now. I got it here.
I called it.
You said it.
I said, man, the Rockets look like the real deal. They putting the talent together. If they get one more piece, just one more piece, I'm telling you now, it's wrap. And that Jalen Green dude, since old girl done came out with them pregnancy allegations, he done turned into a new man. Yeah. I mean, he going off 30, 20 a night every night. So shout out to Jalen Green, man. He been hooping.
Bro, I'm just looking at some of what I said. I missed completely on the Timberwolves. I ain't had them making it at all. And they had number I
had OKC high too. I said OKC was gonna be high.
Yeah, you had them at 8.
I had them at 8. Okay, I thought I had them at 6 or something.
But that's still so you had them at 8. I had them at 8. Thomas didn't have them there at all. I didn't have Minnesota in there. I had the Kings in there.
All right. We're gonna jump into this next week.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that.
We're gonna jump into NBA next week because y'all seem to be turned up by the NBA. So we definitely gonna get that in next week. We'll talk about the college basketball game and then we'll talk about NBA next week. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness, man. We appreciate y'all. Go ahead and subscribe to the pod. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Y'all know where to find us. Link is in the bio. We appreciate y'all's love and support, and we will holler at y'all next week, man.